My name is Emily Carter. I'm 34 years old, a freelance copy editor, a wife, and a mother. For the last 9 years, I've also been the unspoken safety net of my family, the one who quietly covers the gaps when someone forgets a bill, when the car won't start, when a prescription isn't covered. No fanfare, no credit. Just me wiring money from my phone in the grocery store line, rearranging our budget so my parents wouldn't have to feel ashamed. Today they voted me out of their house like I was a line item they could cross off a spreadsheet. We pull into the driveway just before sunset. The sky is soft and gray, and the wind carries the scent of dry leaves and warm concrete. In the back seat, my son Milo is asleep with his head tilted toward the window, still clutching the bear he's had since he was 2. My husband Ben reaches over and taps the console screen. The music fades. "Looks like we're the last ones back," he says. I don't answer, because sitting there on the porch just steps from the door is our life in garbage bags. 6 trash bags, 2 suitcases, 1 toy basket split open at the top, a cardboard box with my name scrawled in marker spelled wrong. Emmy Lee. The E is double-stroked like someone messed it up then gave up correcting it. Ben leans forward. "What is this?" I already know. I open my door, heart heavy but steady, and step out into the stillness. I walk up the steps. Each one feels like a confirmation. The front door opens before I can knock. My mother fills the doorway, arms folded, lips tight. She doesn't look angry. She looks ready. "It's time," she says, like we'd been circling this moment for months. "You've known this was coming." Behind her, I see Harper standing near the entryway mirror, arms crossed like she's part of a boardroom decision. Her eyes narrow slightly like she's weighing how dramatic I might be. "We voted," Harper adds. "It's not personal, Em. We just need to protect the energy in the house." I almost laugh, but I don't. Ben joins me on the porch. He hasn't said anything yet, but I feel the tension rising in him like a tide. Milo stirs in the back seat. "You voted me out?" I ask. My dad appears in the hallway but doesn't say a word. He doesn't meet my eyes. He just scratches his jaw and steps back like he's only here to observe. Harper shrugs. "We have to prioritize peace." "Stability," my mother echoes. They speak like therapists, like this is an intervention, like I'm a problem they finally decided to address. "I pay half the bills in this house. I say I wired you $900 last month because the AC went out." My mother flinches barely. Ben speaks, a voice low. "Is there something we missed? Did we say something? Did we break something?" "No." I say, eyes still locked on hers. "They didn't talk to us. They planned it." My phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull it out. It's from my cousin Leah. She's never in the drama, but she always knows everything. Attached is a screenshot from a group chat I've never been part of. Carter Family Core. Harper. "She's been here long enough. It's time, Mom. Don't draw it out. Just keep it simple." Dad. "Act normal when she comes back." Harper. "I'll handle it." Ben reads it over my shoulder. "They planned this." "No," I whisper. "They coordinated it." Behind us, the car door opens. Milo climbs out slowly, bear still in hand. He blinks at the porch. "Mom, is that our stuff?" My throat tightens. "Yes, sweetheart." "Did I do something bad?" I crouch beside him. "No, baby, you didn't." He looks at the house, the front door now shut again like the conversation is done. Then why don't they want us inside? I don't know how to answer that. I pick up one of the suitcases. We load the car without a word. The sun slips further behind the trees. No one comes outside. No one helps. My casserole dish is on top of the trash bag, still warm. By the time we finish, the sky is darker and Milo has started drawing on the car window with his finger. Ben opens the door. "Where are we going?" "There's a place off Route 15, I say, motel, with green shingles and a vending machine that always breaks. I stayed there once years ago." He nods. "Okay." As we back out of the driveway, I look up at the second-story window. The porch light flicks on, a yellow glow in the corner of my eye, like we're being lit for security, not safety. At the motel, the room smells like lemon cleaner and cheap plastic. Milo curls up in one of the twin beds. Ben sits down beside him and starts scrolling his phone. I sit at the edge of the other bed, hands still dirty from lifting boxes. My phone is still in my lap, the screen still open. They didn't just vote me out of the house. They voted me out of the narrative. No questions, no explanations, no apologies. Just a group chat, a plan, and a front porch full of bags. That night, I stare at the water stain on the motel ceiling and realize something I never wanted to admit out loud. They only needed me until I was inconvenient. And now that I am, they think I'll leave quietly. I won't. I should have known from the smell. Lemon cleaner and baked pasta. My mother's version of hospitality, sharp bleach in the air, a bubbling tray of ziti in the oven, and folded napkins like origami at each place setting. It's a dinner we've done dozens of times in this exact house. Around this exact table, I still hold on to the idea that maybe this time will feel different. Milo tugs at the hem of my coat as I balance the casserole dish in one hand and open the door with the other. He's quiet, wide-eyed, wearing the little striped shirt I ironed that morning. He still thinks family dinners are special. I envy him for that. My mother answers before we knock, her expression fixed, voice clipped. "Emily, you're a few minutes late." I smile like it doesn't sting. "I brought the rosemary casserole you like." She doesn't take the dish from my hands. She barely glances at it. Instead, her eyes drop to Milo, then flick past him to the driveway like she's scanning for something more interesting. "Shoes off in the entry, please," she says. Inside the house is warm and too bright. Every surface is spotless. The dining table gleams, 6 places set, silverware aligned wine glasses waiting. I scan the chairs. There are 6. 1 for Mom, 1 for Dad, 1 for Harper, 1 for Harper's boyfriend Mason, and 2 for the cousins visiting from Dayton. No chair for Milo. Not even a stool. I pause. There's no seat for Milo. My mother glances over her shoulder. "There's not much room tonight. He can sit with you." I nod slowly, setting down the casserole. "Sure, we'll make it work." I lift Milo onto my lap, adjusting my chair to bring him closer to the table. He doesn't complain. He never does. He folds his napkin like he sees the adults do, then leans forward to reach for the bread basket. Harper is the first to break the silence. "You're going to let him eat off your plate?" She laughs softly. "That's charming." I meet her eyes. "We're good." Dinner begins with forced chatter. The weather, Harper's work trip, Mason's promotion at his tech firm. I nod, I smile, I refill water glasses when they run low. I don't mention that Ben is working late again this week, that I'm behind on 2 freelance deadlines, or that Milo has been having trouble sleeping through the night. No one asks. Midway through the meal, Harper clears her throat and stands up. She pulls a cream envelope from her purse and hands it to my mother. "Just a little something from my quarterly bonus. Thought you could use it." My mother's eyes light up. She takes the envelope with both hands like it's a sacred object. "You're so thoughtful," she says, her voice warmer than I've heard all night. "You always have been." I chew slower, watching the scene unfold like I'm not really there. Just 2 days ago, Mom had called me crying about the car stalling at the grocery store. I'd wired her $1,200 that evening without hesitation. It was right there in the app. Transfer complete, Emily Carter. She didn't say thank you. She didn't even text to confirm it went through. No one at the table knows, or maybe they do and choose not to care. I set my fork down. "So, is this your casserole?" my mother asks, suddenly her eyes now on the untouched dish at the corner of the table. I nod. "Yeah." She smiles tightly. "Still can't get the pasta right, can you? Yours always comes out a little dry. Bless your heart." Harper laughs. It's too quick, too bright. Even my father chuckles. Milo frowns, but I like it. I touch his shoulder. "That's okay, baby. I'll try better next time." Conversation moves on without me. Harper goes on about the new apartment she's moving into, with Mason top floor, full balcony walk-in closet. Someone asks about the tiles in their bathroom, and my mother launches into a 10-minute comparison of marble versus ceramic. Milo reaches for a breadstick and knocks over a napkin holder. No one offers to help. I grab a paper towel from the kitchen. Near the end of the meal, Harper steps away from the table and into the hallway. As she walks past me, I catch a glimpse of her phone screen as it lights up in her hand. A message, a group chat. The preview reads, "Harper. She's really still trying, huh?" That's all I see before she swipes the message away, but it's enough. My stomach twists. I don't know who she sent it to, Mom. Mason. Someone else in the family. The words burn behind my eyes. Still trying. As if I'm a stray dog pawing at the back door hoping to be let in. After dinner, I help clear the table. Milo trails behind me, carrying a single spoon in both hands like it's made of glass. My mother wipes the counter and doesn't speak to me. In the living room, Harper is already curled on the couch, scrolling. Mason leans back with his hands behind his head, laughing at something I can't hear. The cousins are watching a video on someone's phone. No one says goodbye when I grab my coat. Milo tugs at my sleeve. Do we have to leave already? Yeah, I say it's getting late. He nods, reaching for my hand. On the way out, I glance back at the table. The envelope from Harper still sits next to the centerpiece unwrapped. My casserole dish is untouched. In the car, Milo hums to himself as we drive. At a red light, I pull up the banking app on my phone. My last transfer sits at the top of the list. Emily Carter. Deborah Carter, $1, 200 note, car trouble, Cho groceries. I stare at it for a moment, then take a screenshot and email it to myself. Not out of spite. Just because I'm tired of being erased. The motel curtain barely blocks the parking lot light. A thin line of yellow leaks through and lands across the foot of the bed like a silent reminder that we don't belong here. The room smells faintly of old coffee and something chemical trying to hide it. Lemon maybe, or bleach. That never quite washed the air clean. Milo is asleep beside me, his knees drawn up his stuffed bear, tucked under one arm. His face is turned toward the wall, the way he sleeps when he's extra tired. He didn't ask many questions tonight, not after the porch. Just one. Did I do something bad? I told him no, but I didn't tell him that I'd been asking myself the same question since we pulled away from that driveway. Ben is across the room, sitting in the stiff armchair by the heater. His phone glows softly in his hand, his face unreadable. He hasn't said much since we checked in. I think that's how he copes, quiet, functional, focused on the next step. He asked if I wanted dinner, but I said no. The only thing I wanted was time to feel something without having to explain it. I lie on my side and stare at the dresser. It's chipped at the corner. One drawer doesn't close all the way. The television remote is duct-taped. This isn't the lowest we've ever been, not financially. But something about tonight makes it feel deeper, like we've fallen into a place where even the walls are trying not to notice us. I pick up my phone from the nightstand and swipe through the apps until I reach the banking one. It opens with a fingerprint. The most recent transfer is still pinned at the top. Emily Carter, Deborah Carter, $200, note, car stalled groceries emergency. There are more below. That A scroll reveals a year's worth of silent giving. March, $650 for new tires. July, $400 for electric bill. December, $900 for holiday dinner extras that we never saw. February, $300 for Harper's birthday gift from the whole family. Every amount carefully spaced, always labeled for someone else's piece. I never asked for it back. I never even brought it up. I thought being generous meant being invisible sometimes. Turns out I was just invisible. I exit the app and open my photo gallery. The screenshot from earlier stares back at me. The group chat, the one I didn't know existed. Carter Family Core. It sounds like a bad brand of frozen meals. I read the lines again. Harper. She's been here long enough. It's time, Mom. Let's keep it simple. Dad, act normal when she gets back. Harper, I'll handle it. No hesitation. No concern about Milo. No thoughts about Ben. Just logistics. As if I were a piece of furniture they finally decided to move out of the way. I tap the screen to lock it, then set the phone face down on the nightstand. I stare at the ceiling. There's a faint water stain in one corner shaped like a question mark. The heater kicks on with a dull rattle. Outside, a car pulls into the lot, headlights sweeping across the curtain. I've been here before. Not this room, not this town, but this feeling. The moment when something you've ignored for years finally walks up to you and says, I was never love, I was convenience. Ben shifts in the chair. Do you want the extra blanket? I shake my head. No, I'm okay. He hesitates like he might say more, but then goes back to his phone. I don't blame him. What is there to say? I think about all the dinners I hosted, the bills I paid without being asked, the birthday gifts I wrapped from all of us. The time Harper forgot to register her son for preschool and called me sobbing at 10 p.m. and I stayed up all night filling out forms and writing the tuition check. She never mentioned it again. Not once. And still they think I'm the one who needs to go. Milo stirs beside me and flips over his bear, now lying on the pillow between us. I brush his hair back gently. His skin is warm, his breath even. He trusts me in a way no one else does. That might be the thing that hurts most, knowing how carefully I've protected him while being discarded by the people who should have protected me. I sit up and look toward the door. There's a small white envelope slipped under it. I walk over barefoot and pick it up. There's no name on it, just a faint smudge in one corner. I open it slowly. Inside are 2 crisp $20 bills and a note scribbled in familiar handwriting. Hope this helps you get back on your feet. No hard feelings, Dee. My mother. I laugh once softly. It sounds more like breath leaving than anything funny. $40. After everything. After nearly a decade of propping up their household, after sacrificing weekends, evenings, holidays, after stepping in when Harper's daycare shut down and no one else could take the kids. I've given them thousands, and this is what they slip under my door like a pity tip. I fold the envelope shut and place it in the drawer next to the Gideon Bible. I don't rip it, I don't write back, I just close the drawer and walk away. There's no anger in me tonight, only space. A kind of emptiness that feels less like grief and more like clearance, like I've finally made room for the truth. Back in bed, I lie beside Milo and stare at the curtain again. That line of light hasn't moved. It never does in places like this. I don't cry. I just lie still listening to the hum of the air vent and think, they didn't just erase me from the house. They've been erasing me from the family for years. They just finally ran out of rooms to do it quietly. Front standing confidently in a navy dress, talking to a teacher like they've been friends for years. She looks polished, purposeful, like she belongs here. A few moments later, the principal steps up to the microphone, tapping it, once. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to this special event. We're so excited to celebrate the opening of our new reading corner made possible by a very generous donation from a member of our school community. Milo squeezes my arm eyes wide. The principal continues smiling toward the front row. We'd like to give special thanks to Mrs. Harper Nolan for sponsoring this project. Her contribution made all of this possible. Applause rises around us. Even Milo claps before he turns to me, brows knitted. Mom, wasn't that from your business? The thing with the tax receipt you printed. I place my hand gently over his. Let's just watch, baby. On the wall near the bookshelves, I see it. A brass plaque mounted on a piece of wood gleaming under the fluorescent lights. Dedicated by Harper Nolan, for the love of reading. There's no mention of Carter & Line, the LLC I use for all my consulting work. No acknowledgement of the business account that transferred the full amount or the 2 follow-up emails with the principal about sourcing the right kind of cushions for the reading nook. I don't stand. I don't interrupt. I just look at the plaque, commit it to memory, and sit back in my chair as the second graders begin their little readings. Nathan steps forward in his button-up shirt and reads a paragraph about a frog building a raft. The crowd laughs politely. Harper dabs at her eyes like it's a graduation. Milo leans his head against my arm. It's weird, he whispers. You said you gave the money. I did, I say, but not everyone sees things the same way. Afterward, when the kids scatter toward the juice boxes and Harper starts gathering compliments from other parents, I guide Milo toward the exit. We leave the book with his name written inside and don't wait for Harper to notice. We walk back to the car under a sky that looks like it can't decide if it's done with winter. Milo skips ahead, hopping over sidewalk cracks. I keep one hand in my coat pocket, fingers wrapped around my keys. Back at the motel, I wait until Milo's asleep. He's curled into his pillow, worn from the excitement Ben is out doing a late shift. I sit at the small desk beneath the window and open my laptop. The folder's already there, labeled donations and transfers. It's one I keep updated for tax season for records for the rare occasion anyone audits anything. I scroll to the line item. 12-17 Carter & Line LLC, Harrison Elementary PTA. 2 750 Izorizurer. Attached is the PDF receipt. My name doesn't appear because I'd written in the notes, "Anonymous please credit to General School Fund." I hadn't thought it needed to be claimed. It was just something I wanted to do. Something for Milo, for the kids. But now I understand something different. If you give too quietly, people start to believe it came from someone louder. I open a blank Word document, title it They Always Knew. Not because I'm going to post anything. Not yet. But because I need to gather the proof, not for them, for me. I drop the donation receipt in, then the screenshot from the family group chat, then the text log from the week. Harper borrowed my tax ID for her business grant application and never brought it up again. It's not rage fueling this, it's precision. I'm not collecting weapons. I'm archiving truth. I check the time, 10:46 p.m. I close the laptop gently. From the bed, Milo murmurs something in his sleep. A dream, probably about frogs or books or juice boxes. I walk over, adjust his blanket, and press a kiss to his forehead. He doesn't know the weight of what's happening around him, and I hope he never has to carry it. But I'm carrying it now, and I'm starting to set it down piece by piece. The backyard is already full when we arrive. Folding chairs fan out across the grass. A long plastic table covered in a bright floral cloth runs down the middle, and there are too many people laughing too loud over food. No one really touches. It's the kind of gathering my Aunt Elaine loves, hosting warm, chaotic, oblivious. I agreed to come because Ben thought it might help smooth things over. He doesn't say things like rebuild trust or offer grace, but that's what he meant. I came because Milo begged to see his cousins, and because, if I'm honest, part of me wanted to see how everyone would look at me now. We're 20 minutes in when the moment happens. Laya Harper's daughter tears the paper off a large white box in the center of the gift pile. There's a collective ooh as she holds up a rose gold iPad, its screen still dark, the film still clinging to its edges. "Wow, someone says, Harper, you really went all out." Harper smiles modestly. She's been wanting one for months. I freeze. There's a sticker still faintly clinging to the underside of the packaging, just visible enough for me to read the blurred Amazon code, the last 4 digits of a tracking number I know by heart. Because I bought that iPad. I ordered it 3 months ago for work, part of a small tech upgrade I'd budgeted for my freelance contracts. It was delivered while I was staying at my parents' house. I waited 2 days before asking about it, thinking it had been misplaced or delayed. My mother told me no package had arrived. I filed a missing item report. The refund was denied. And then I forgot about it, or I tried to. But there it is, in Laya's lap, still warm from the sun, still carrying the label. I peeled the tape from myself. Milo sits beside me, picking grapes from a paper plate. He doesn't notice the shift in my body, but Ben does. His hand brushes mine lightly, a silent question. I don't answer it. I slowly walk across the yard and stop in front of the table where Harper is helping Laya set up the iPad. She looks up, smile still in place. "Hey." I don't return the greeting. Instead, I reach forward and peel off the faded tag from the back of the box. I hold it between my fingers, the silence pressing down around us like fog. For a moment, no one says anything. Then Harper laughs too lightly. "Oh, must have gotten delivered to Mom's by mistake. You know how it is with addresses." I folded the tag in half and set it beside the box. "Long mistake," I say quietly. Harper blinks, her smile wobbling. "It's just a tablet." I don't respond. I turn and walk back to my seat, the air behind me heavy and unsaid. No one follows me. Back at the table, Ben looks at me carefully. Milo offers me a bite of his cookie. I take it. The party carries on, but the tone has shifted. There's a visible unease in the air now, like someone opened a window and let something real in. Harper doesn't mention the iPad again. Neither does my mother, who watched the whole thing from the porch steps but said nothing. Later, as we leave, no one hugs me goodbye. Milo waves to Laya. She waves back, distracted, already tapping through the new settings menu. The tag is gone from the table. At the motel that night, I open my laptop. The desk wobbles slightly when I rest my elbows on it, but I don't care. I log into my Amazon account, navigate to the order history, and scroll until I find it. Rose gold iPad delivered March 3rd. Status delivered. No return, no refund, no record of what happened after. I take a screenshot, save it to a new folder titled Items Gone Missing. I add it to the others, the donation receipt for the reading corner, the rent payment receipt from the month my parents covered me, the grocery receipts for the week Harper claimed she was too broke to feed her kids. I'm not building a case, I'm building a mirror. I sit back and stare at the screen, wondering how long it will take before the reflection becomes too sharp to ignore. My phone buzzes a text from my mother. Hope Laya liked the gift. We all contribute in different ways. I don't reply. Instead, I scroll further back in my inbox to a receipt from 4 years ago, a high chair ordered from a local baby boutique, stained pine removable tray, adjustable legs. I bought it when Milo turned 2 because my mother complained his plastic one scraped the kitchen floor. They said it belonged to the house. But I have the email, the card charge, and the handwritten thank you note from the boutique owner. I saved that too. In the background, Milo is asleep on the bed, one leg hanging off the side. He's breathing steadily, peaceful. I watch him for a long moment. And I realize that something in me has changed. I'm not looking for apologies anymore. I'm just writing things down. Because if they won't remember, I will. The coffee shop hums with the sound of clinking mugs and low conversation. A student 2 tables over is typing furiously, earbuds in. The barista calls out a name I don't recognize. I sit near the window, cinnamon latte untouched, the foam slowly collapsing. I'm supposed to be working. Instead, I'm scrolling through messages from women who found my videos, women who write long paragraphs about silent burnout, about family holidays that feel more like performances about never being thanked. Some of the messages make me cry, others just make me nod. I started the channel quietly, almost by accident. The first video wasn't polished. I filmed it late one night in the motel bathroom, phone propped against a tissue box. Milo asleep in the other room. I didn't say anyone's name, I just talked about what it feels like to be erased while you're still giving. Sometimes I said into the screen, they don't see you go quiet because you've always been quiet. That video didn't go viral, but it didn't need to. It found the right people. I'm working on the next one, outlining it in a worn notebook when I hear the voice. Familiar, confident, dismissive. Harper. She's behind me, seated at a corner table I didn't see when I walked in. Her voice carries in that way it always has, like she assumes no one would dare challenge her. She's talking to a friend, someone with long nails and a red laptop open in front of her. She didn't even put her name on it, Harper says, stirring something into her drink. So when the school asked, I just stepped in. I mean, someone had to. And it made sense. I'm the one they know. The friend says something I can't make out. Harper laughs. She's too soft to fight back. Always has been. I mean, if you hand someone the credit, they're going to take it. My heart doesn't race. My hand doesn't tremble. I just reach slowly into my coat pocket, open the voice memo app, and hit record. The audio isn't perfect. A few seconds of chair noise. The hiss of milk steaming from the bar. But her voice is clear. Her words are clean. 42 seconds. That's all I need. I save the file and tuck the phone into my lap, eyes on my untouched latte. The foam is almost gone. I take a sip. It's cold now. I don't turn around. I don't confront her. I finish my notes in silence, then pack up and leave through the side exit. That night, Milo is asleep early. Ben is working a double, which leaves the apartment still and quiet just the way I need it. I sit at the small desk, open my laptop, and watch the cursor blink on a blank screen. The document is already titled The Reclaim Series, Episode 3. I start typing. Tonight's script is different. It's steadier. Less about pain, more about weight. The kind you carry when your name isn't on anything, but your fingerprints are on everything. There's a difference between humility and erasure, I say into the webcam, and some people count on your silence so they can rewrite the story. I talk about the donation without naming the school. I describe the moment without mentioning the plaque. I keep it clean, measured. I want it to speak for more than me. Then at the end, I add the clip. It's quiet. Just Harper's voice, unhurried. She's too soft to fight back. Always has been. I don't explain it. I let the silence after it linger. Then I upload. I close the laptop and walk into the bedroom. Milo stirs when I adjust his blanket. He mumbles something half asleep. I press my palm to his back until his breathing slows again. The apartment smells like detergent and warm carpet home, even if it's temporary. I walk back to the desk and open the dashboard. At first, nothing. Then a single view. Then 7. Then 23. A few minutes later, a comment. I've lived this, thank you. And then they always say too soft until we stop being quiet. I don't smile. Not yet, but I feel something shift. I pull out the notebook again and write in large letters across the next page. Sometimes the loudest thing you can do is name the truth and let it stand. I underline it once. Then I flip back to the outline for episode 4. It's already taking shape, not as a call-out, not as revenge, just as air, finally breath. The video doesn't explode. It doesn't need to. But by midnight, the comments keep coming. The messages keep coming. And somewhere in the middle of that quiet, steady momentum, I understand. I'm not screaming. I'm archiving. I'm not burning anything down. I'm just done pretending it didn't happen. The courthouse isn't grand or dramatic. No marble columns, no echoing halls, just beige walls, old carpet, and the low hum of vending machines down the corridor. It smells faintly of paper and waiting. Janice walks beside me, calm and brisk, holding a folder thick with documents. I carry my own smaller file, worn edges, color-coded tabs, everything in order. We don't talk much as we climb the stairs. There's nothing left to plan. The plan is already printed. Courtroom 3B is quiet when we arrive. A man with a clipboard checks us in. I sit at the left table, Janice beside me, and place the folder on the surface with care. It's not heavy, but it feels like something sacred. Harper walks in 10 minutes later. She's dressed like she's here for a photo shoot. Pale blazer, glossy hair, expensive heels. She doesn't look at me. She waves briefly to our parents in the back row. My mother lifts a hand. My father crosses his arms. They don't sit on our side. They're there to support family, but not mine. The clerk calls the session to order. Everyone stands. The judge enters. And then it begins. Janice starts with the will. The first version, dated 18 months ago, lists me as the primary beneficiary of our grandfather's home. A modest 2-bedroom near the river, the one where I spent summers mowing the lawn and helping him sort his coin collection. He'd told me more than once that the house would be mine someday. Not because I asked, just because he said you've always shown up. The second version, 6 months later, shows a change. My name is gone. Harper's name is there, no explanation, no notation. Janice presents the timeline calmly. Next, the bank transfers. 12 months of deposits from my account to Grandpa's covering his medication, oxygen tanks, home repairs. All small amounts, all recorded, all with notes. For Grandpa. Don't worry about paying me back. Harper's visit started around the same time Janice says her friend, a junior lawyer, began helping with estate planning. Then comes the audio. 42 seconds. The same clip from the coffee shop. She's too soft to fight back. No names, but the judge listens, so does the room. No one moves while it plays. Harper keeps her chin up, but her fingers twitch on the table. Janice doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't need to. The paperwork does the work. After that, we submit one last document, a single receipt. From 4 years ago, a boutique baby shop with handwritten invoices. One oak high chair, adjustable legs, removable tray, purchased by Emily Carter. The chair was in the back room when they packed our belongings for the porch. They claimed it was part of the house. It stays. My mother said it's a household item. I found the receipt 2 weeks ago in a folder marked MISC. The judge reviews everything, then asks a few questions. Harper tries to explain the second will as an update Grandpa requested, but when pressed, she can't recall the date she last spoke to him about it. She fumbles a reference to her lawyer friend's involvement. My parents say nothing. Janice leans over, whispers, "This is going well." I nod. The judge rules that the first will stands. The second is invalid due to lack of proper documentation and conflict of interest. Harper doesn't speak after that. I don't smile, I don't gloat, I just breathe. On the way out, I stop by the evidence table. The high chair is there, tagged and logged. I show the clerk the original receipt again. He hands it to me without a word. I cradle it carefully. It's lighter than I remember. The wood worn at the arms, one corner chipped where Milo once banged a spoon during dinner. It's not valuable, but it's mine. I pass my parents in the hallway. My mother looks down at the chair. You're really taking that? I pause. I bought it. She opens her mouth, then closes it. My father doesn't speak. Harper is down the hall pacing near the exit phone to her ear. She won't look at me. Janice and I walk outside together. The sun is low, soft light cutting across the parking lot. I'll follow up on the official deed transfer, she says, and we'll get the judgment in writing next week. Thank you. You were calm in there. That matters. I didn't need to raise my voice. She smiles. You didn't, and you didn't need to. They saw it. I place the chair gently into the back seat of my car next to Milo's booster. It sits there like a relic, like something returned after a long time gone. Not a trophy. Just a piece of truth. On the way back to the apartment, I stop at a red light and glance at the rearview mirror. The sun is behind me. My face is still calm. Ben calls while I'm driving. I answer on speaker. How'd it go? Exactly how it needed to. You okay? I will be. When I pull into the apartment lot, I carry the chair inside by myself. Milo runs to meet me at the door. His eyes light up when he sees it. Hey, I remember that. I set it down by the kitchen wall. It's back. He climbs into it even though he barely fits. Now, his legs dangle awkwardly, but he grins. I take a photo. Not to post. Just to remember. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it comes in receipts, rulings, and returned chairs. And sometimes it looks like your son laughing in a seat no one else thought you deserved to keep. Milo's bookshelf leans slightly to the left even after I wedge a folded cereal box under the back leg, but it holds row after row of picture books. Chapter books, the dog-eared copy of The Very Hungry Caterpillar he still won't let me donate. I rearrange them again anyway. Alphabetical, then by color. Eventually, I leave them in the order he likes best. His favorites on the bottom shelf where he can reach them without asking. The afternoon sun spills through the window, warming the floor beneath the rug. Our apartment is small. 2 bedrooms, 1.5, baths, a desk, crammed in the corner where the dining table should be. But every part of it belongs to us. No one walks in without knocking. No one edits our presence here. On my laptop screen, my YouTube dashboard ticks up again. Subscribers, 75,041. It doesn't startle me the way it used to. I don't check the numbers compulsively now, but sometimes I pause at the count. Not because it's big, but because it's real. Every one of those people clicked follow after watching me speak in a room no one else could enter. The latest video, episode 6, went live yesterday. It's steadying this rhythm. Not for fame, not for approval. Just to keep walking forward. Every clip is a small release. A truth I no longer need to hide. A conversation I no longer want to hold alone. My phone buzzes on the counter. Mom. I don't move. It rings 4 times before falling to voicemail. A minute later, the message pops up. I press play. Her voice is tired, slower than I remember. We just thought you'd always be there. That's all. Maybe we assumed too much. That's it. No apology, no reflection. Just the sound of someone noticing too late that something they leaned on isn't there anymore. I don't save the message, I don't delete it either. I let it sit there taking up space the way that kind of regret always does. I pour a glass of water, sit down at the desk, and open the drawer. Inside, I find the envelope, the one they slipped under the motel door that night with 2 crisp $20 bills, and the note that said, "Hope this helps. No hard feelings." It's empty now. The paper soft and creased, its corners worn. I almost throw it out. Then I don't. Instead, I tuck it deeper into the drawer beneath the notepads and stamps next to Milo's first preschool registration form. It's not a wound anymore. It's a record. After lunch, Milo and I walk to the park. The air is crisp, but not cold. Spring is starting to believe in itself again. The trees are still mostly bare, but you can feel the green trying to push through. Milo skips ahead, stopping to poke a patch of dandelions. Do you think they'll ever say, "Sorry," he asks, like he's asking about the weather? I don't answer right away. I look up at the sky wide and open pale blue with a single line of cloud stretching across it. Maybe I say, but we're not waiting for it anymore, are we? He nods like that makes perfect sense. Then he runs off toward the swing's arms out, jacket flapping behind him. I sit on the bench near the edge of the wood chips. A woman beside me is scrolling through her phone, the corners of her mouth pulled tight. I think about asking if she's okay, but I don't. Maybe she just needs the silence. Back at home, I rinse out Milo's lunchbox and wipe down the counter. The apartment hums with the low comfort of traffic outside distant birdsong, the heater clicking on again. I open my notebook and turn to a fresh page. At the top, I write the Reclaim series. Beneath it, strong starts for silent women. The words settle on the page without hesitation. They're not armor. They're not weapons. They're blueprints. I glance across the room at the chair by the wall. The one from the courtroom, the one they said wasn't mine. Now it holds a folded throw blanket and Milo's old sketch pad. It doesn't beg for a place at anyone's table. It has one. I close the notebook and breathe in the quiet. It doesn't weigh anything like it used to. Sometimes the hardest part of being the steady one is realizing no one notices you until you stop showing up. Emily Carter gave and gave quietly, consistently, believing love meant sacrifice. But when her presence became inconvenient, she was erased, not loudly but piece by piece. Yet through silence, she found her voice. Through abandonment, she discovered boundaries. Her journey was never about revenge, it was about recognition of her worth, her labor, and her right to walk away from what no longer saw her. If you've ever felt invisible in the spaces you gave everything to, you are not alone. Sometimes the quietest exit leaves the deepest impact. If this story resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and follow for more stories that speak to the strength it takes to reclaim yourself, one step, one truth, one breath at a time.